Hello, 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 everyone. It is Matt, ESC United, your favorite Eurovision channel, talking about the results of semi-final 1, the 10 qualifiers and the 5 non-qualifiers. And I mentioned earlier I would be in the Eurvision Village, but they're going to close down and I couldn't stick around, so I had to go back real quick and actually do it from my hotel room. But I'm here in beautiful Liverpool, watched the show in the Eurvision Village. Fortunately, it's just around the corner for me, so I could just run back and do this live stream for you. Hopefully, my internet will play along. I just started it, and I'm also uploading a video at the same time, so I'm sucking all of the bandwidth out of the entire hotel probably, but that is all right. What a show, y'all, and so much to talk about. Are there any surprises? Were you surprised some of the qualifiers, or was that what you expected? And let me just see who is here. I see lots and lots of people already being excited, and some not decided. In case you don't know how Eurovision works, of course, there were 15 songs performing tonight, and a televote only 100% televote, I was trying to say. They voted, and ultimately, they chose these acts. There was no jury involved. Very important. The only thing that has changed this year on top of it is that we had a rest of the world vote. We don't know. It's just one vote for all the countries around the world that are not in Eurovision, not taking part. And they voted as well. Did they make a difference? We won't know. In case you want to know the results, you have to be a little bit more patient, because we don't get them until after the grand final, basically right after Sunday morning, if you will. So keep an eye out for that. But for now, let's talk about some of the stuff that happened and how surprised you were. I thought the show overall is very, very pretty. It was great quality, great sound, and just nice and slick, right? This came together really, really well. I love the opening act. Hopefully, that as well was very touching. The nice balance between uniting us all and not making it too political. So I thought it was very tasteful. And of course, we're going to talk about the big 3 that you saw, like a little bit more of a snippet there as well. But let's talk about the qualifiers. I need to probably look them up here in the order they were announced. But I do remember that the first country that was announced as the qualifier was Croatia. And just so you know, I got 9 out of 10 correctly predicted. I took one risk. And that didn't pay off, but that is okay, because I'm very, very happy with the one that I did not predict as one of my favorites this year. But anyways, Croatia is through for the first time in a few years, and I could not be happy. I think the last time they qualified was in 2017. Now they came with Mama Sh. Led 3. Several people doubted them, but I thought that they were going to go through. Most of our team actually thought they would, and the first one announced, making it through. And I would love to hear from you all what you are thinking, as always, when you talk to me, though, in the chat at ESC United, so I can see them. So what are your thoughts on Croatia going through? You're saying that some of you are saying that was a surprise, other is not. Keep in mind, if the internet is spotty, keep me updated. It may get better because I'm uploading a video at the same time. We're at 33%. So it'll get better. If not, I switch to my cell phone internet. So just let me know if it gets too bad. But yes, so Croatia, I see here, wouldn't be surprised if Croatia is a top 5 televote in the final. That is a pretty big and bold prediction. I don't know if I would go that far just yet, but I will say I'm almost there. I could see a potential Croatia top 10. Top 5 will be really hard to top with a song that's a little bit more, polarizing. I think you have to be a little bit less extreme in that sense. But top 10, I could easily see. So, but yeah, it certainly wasn't a surprise to me. ESC Germany saying, I love Croatia. It's the first time I predicted all 10 qualifiers right. I took a risk, but I got 9. I mean, I think it's we don't know. That could be that, especially since we have no juries voting, we could talk about probably like a tie or a 1-point difference. Also, real quick, stick around. Let's talk it through, because also during the press conference or even before, the artists will draw their running order. So that is also very, very important. Not running order, forgive me, what half they're going to perform in. So we'll find out, for instance, if we're Croatia first or second half and all of that stuff. So very, very important. So yeah, Croatia was not a surprise to me. We don't know what the assumption is the juries would have downgraded them, but I don't think we don't need to worry about that. In terms, we're going to talk about the non-qualifier as well. The second one that was announced was Moldova, and everyone on our team predicted Moldova to go through. I'm glad that this happened, and they absolutely deserve it. It's just, it is just the right Eurovision song, an ethnobop. And it was just beautifully staged. And I was surprised it didn't do quite as well in the press poll or the audience poll. It's made for TV properly. I think it was really good. And I'm very, very happy about that as well. Not too shocker. Switzerland, some people were surprised. I was not. I figured that it would be a battle between Switzerland and the Netherlands. And Switzerland just had a better package. I thought the music was just a little bit more mass appealish because it has a very stronger melody, and visually it was also just, even though I always thought it was a little bit of a disconnect between the song and the staging, it was still visually stunning. So, and it really just stuck with you, and the voice was just on top of it. And people needed that. There were so many upbeat, fun songs. I think some people just gravitate towards a pretty ballad. And that is exactly what happened here, I think. I had Switzerland or Norway out for Latvia, somebody saying. Yeah, not everyone had that one. Switzerland as in their top 10. Switzerland was a surprise, and I'm happy for them. I predicted them, so I personally didn't think it was a surprise. It's, again, more of a relief. It's in my personal top 10 as well, so I am quite happy. By the way, in case you're wondering, my team is still in Eurvision Village. They're probably going to have their own video up in the near future. Finland, what? No, everyone was going crazy about that one. There's not much time to talk about Finland. I'll get some of the questions as well for all of them. I just want to go through the ones real quick. Czechia, I was relieved. Not that I was worried, but I thought that maybe people won't get it. But I was like, no, it looked so good. It just looked so good. It came together so well, and I felt confident, but I always doubt myself in the end anyway. So Czechia, very well deserved. Not a big surprise. Israel, not a big surprise that they went through. She sounded especially good today, and everyone just brought their A game. You could see that they were all really, really just into the performance. And the energy you could hear it. The people were so excited. Everyone was just even better than in any of the rehearsals. The next one, Portugal. What a relief, right? Because I'm a big fan of the song, first of all. And I would still say, I would still make changes to the staging, but it doesn't matter anymore because I knew Mimikat, she just had it. She had the song, she had the personality, she had the voice, and everything else came together. So I knew that the song would be strong enough to carry her easily through to the finals, and I'm so happy. Did you see her reaction? Bless your heart, Mimikat. Bless your heart. I'm so happy, and it absolutely deserves it. And I'll get through your questions in just a moment. And then the Sweden was the number 8. Again, no surprise there. But once again, what a performance. I think kind of what I said about Israel, I would say about Sweden as well. I think it was the best performance yet. And she has been really good these last few rounds. So Sweden, there's a reason she's a contender to win. Right. So I thought that was wonderful. Serbia, so happy. I was so nervous, and I made a bold prediction. I said Serbia will come 11th and just miss out, and Malta will squeeze in, because I knew that there was no way that all songs, the first 3 songs, would go through. So I looked at them. Would it be Norway? Would it be Malta or Serbia? And Malta would be the obvious choice, but I just was worried that Serbia was too dark for people. I'm so glad that wasn't the case. And I'm very, very sad for Malta, but I'm so happy for Serbia. So I'm glad that my last second switch between Malta and Serbia, I was wrong, because what a song. Oh, I just love it. And did you see his reaction? How adorable was he? He was so emotional. When you saw how nervous he was. And yeah, I was really sad about that. And then Norway, I'm happy. What an opener. Like everyone in Eurvision Village was going nuts with that song. I just wish they wouldn't have waited to announce her last because it was a little obvious, right? Like no one was in there. I'm like, oh my God, who's it going to be next? Oh my God. We all knew that it would be Norway. But nevertheless, I'm so thrilled that they are through. Let's talk. I see some questions here. Let me see who has some. I usually allow myself to change one of my qualifiers during the live show and swap Portugal for the Netherlands. Sad for Netherlands, but yay for getting Portugal correct. Good job on that one. Yes, talk about Netherlands. I just had that inkling coming right before Finland. It sucked all of the oxygen out of it. And some people were saying maybe because Netherlands has a different feel, has a different emotion that they're trying to convey to Finland. But I say, like, the song itself just didn't have the gravitas to stand out. They were so sweet, and did you see when they were like right at the beginning before the postcard came in, they really just looked at each other and were like, let's do this, and just like, let's make it happen. And it was so touching, and I feel bad for them because they've got so much slack already in the Netherlands. So it sucks. It sucks, but I'm not surprised. I just don't think that the package together worked. They were just not vocally mashing well. The song, I don't think, was strong enough, and it just was rushed. And the fact that they changed it last second, the team knew that they would have an uphill battle, and probably a wake-up call for the Netherlands, who have been so good at Eurovision and having an off year, that they may want to reconsider the current path that they're on and not going back to the old days. So sad for Netherlands for sure. It's always questions at ESC United. Portugal could possibly left-hand side IMO. I would not be shocked if Portugal made it this far. But again, it's a tough semi. And we know Sweden and Finland were number 1 and 2, right? And then Norway would be up there, and Israel probably. Correct me if you disagree. And then, yeah, those would be my top 4 predictions, those 4 countries. And then the rest, Czechia, I don't know. But now look at the rest. It seems that less jury-friendly songs now qualify. What do you think about this, as it might favor jury-friendly songs of the Big Five who get less competition on the jury front? I mean, there's, of course, Patrick, you make a great point. Some speculation, and of course, because we don't know what we perceive as jury-friendly, right? I would add that caveat. I would say that Switzerland, there's several songs that are jury pleasers, though. Sweden is a jury pleaser. Switzerland is probably a jury pleaser. And yes, the Big Five have some, but there are others in the other semi as well that could still make a difference there. But yeah, I'm trying to think, out of the 5 that did not qualify, who would have been a jury pleaser? And I am struggling to think about any of, I got to type something real quick. I'm trying to think who would be out of the 5 that didn't make it would be a jury pleaser. You can maybe make a case for Latvia, because I do think that has a lot more depth to it. That it's a grower, I call Latvia, right? A lot of people, even my friends here, the press, like, they all liked it after the 2nd or 3rd listen, and that's, of course, not a good thing at Eurovision. But I do think that there are plenty of candidates in this group that have jury potential, in my opinion. I don't know, but it's going to be different because, at least previously, most of these acts were at least jury tested. Now that they're not jury tested, something crazy could actually really happen here. But I don't know. It's just so different this year. I don't think Norway is going to do as well as people thought anymore. I would love to hear why you think that. I thought it was a great opener. But depends on also what your definitions are, how well she was doing. If you look at the the betting odds, she is, what was the last time I checked? Was she 5th or 6th in the betting odds? Something like that. So if you're saying she's not coming top 10, I'm not there yet. I don't know if I would say that. We'll see. There are certain songs that are qualified that I think the juries may have. I don't know where they end up in the televote, but Croatia and Moldova, I would think would have gotten lower jury scores out of those that I see here, and potentially Serbia. I do feel as this year in particular, there would have been more disagreements than usually. But hey, we will never know. That's the one thing. Unless they ever give us the backup jury results, which I know they won't. I don't think that we have to, we'll ever find out. I'm actually quite disappointed we haven't had an announcement from the EBU about the voting drama. Are you referring to the voting drama last year, ESC Shervin? They did make an announcement. They just made an announcement and moved on. Unless there's another voting drama that you have not. Are you talking about what the results, the way they wanted to present it at the end? They did make a statement about that as well, talking about, they want to have the split screen and the X Factor style kind of presentation. They did release a press statement that only the press got, and they then made that happen. Thank you for sharing that link, Osiros. So if you want to have that on as well, I have it on. We'll have it on the site as well, probably. But let me bring it up here, because you know what I did. So I'm in the UK, obviously in Liverpool. If there are any Brits in here, did you have an issue with the live stream? Like when I logged in, it said you are not able to watch us from this country, and I thought, well, are they thinking I am an American? And then I put a VPN on UK, and it still blocked me. That was just super awkward. But yeah, that is what I noticed. I'm not sure if that was an issue for others as well. Thank you so much, Ray Mapper, buddy, for doing that. So proud of our Alcaria. All my faves made it except Latvia and Malta. Yeah, I knew that Latvia wasn't going to make it. I had hopes for Malta. Sadly, that didn't come through. That bumps me out. But I'm stoked that Portugal is through. I'm happy for all of them. My taste is not important. Whoever people like, they should go through. Do you think Finland won the semi? It's a toughie. I want to say yes, but I will not discount the power of Lorraine. This one was amazing and mesmerizing, and I could see a universe where she won the televote as well, but I think it would be Finland. It just goes wild, and it has a great running order and all of that. So, yeah, I don't know. Give me 1 second here. I'm getting so many questions, and I'm trying to bring up the press conference and see if that's working for me. We still have to wait for that. Okay, not a problem. So, okay, somebody said, yeah, live stream is also blocked in the UK. Why is it blocked in the UK? I thought it was a US thing. It's a little silly. It's a little silly, like they need to watch it. Oh, that's what it is. You can't watch live streams of shows on YouTube, only available on BBC platforms to watch. It's the BBC didn't want that, huh? Those stinkers. That's why it didn't work. So yeah, I had to switch to a German VPN. Just in last moment, I realized that. So I was like, because I had to run from the village to here, and then my TV on top of it is not working. So I'm like, ugh. Did you notice how much the crowd responded to Portugal every single time? Not just tonight, but I talked to people who were in the jury show as well as in the afternoon show, and every time Portugal goes big. I think Portugal has often, there are plenty of lovers and supporters of the song, but often overlooked by a lot of people in the bubble. And I'm so glad that they're getting another shot in the grand final. Portugal just has become a little bit more of a powerhouse. Things have changed, and I love that about them. And hopefully they'll keep it going and not play it safe, because I was worried that some Portuguese have said that if they would not pick that one, they would always pick these melodramatic songs that Portugal is famous for. So I'm glad they actually qualified with a more upbeat song. So I'm very, very, very happy. As always, questions that you're going to ask at East United, so I know you're talking to me. Okay. What did you think about the sound levels and the sound mixing today? Some artists sounded like the mic was turned way down or sour for no other reason, like Norway. So It's very hard to say. So there's a different experience for me than you may have had, because I was in the Eurvision Village, right, with thousands and thousands of people, with several monitors out there, and it's a little more echoey. Maybe it sounded good to me, but when you watch it on TV, you are able to pick up like little discrepancies or little minor things a whole lot more. It didn't come across like that way on my end. Clearly, it didn't have a major impact, because Norway easily went through. So, but yeah, it's always a different experience. Same when you're in the press center, because, it's on this big screen with speakers and it gets a little bit more echoey and they all sound way better. So it's interesting to hear that people said sound was problematic tonight, because it was not problematic when we were in the village. It sounded all good, but it's just a different sound as it travels. You know what I mean? So yeah. So everyone says, or most people saying that it was not that good. That's very interesting. Was it just like the artist's vocals were too low, or was it just not clear? What exactly was the sound problem on your end? Sucks to be you. No, I'm kidding. I know that if that's the case, then I certainly have to fix it, because, that's not a good thing. How was the crowd in Eurovision? Any pointers to public support for certain entries? Well, in the Eurvision Village, Finland went big. Portugal went quite big. Well, there were a lot of Israeli fans for some reason, so Israel went pretty big. And yeah, those were the big ones. In terms of the arena, I was not in the arena, so I don't know. I heard what you heard. I can only refer to the things that happened in the jury show and in the other dress rehearsal this earlier. Portugal, huge response. Finland, through the roof. I'm trying to think who else got really big response. Norway always gets a really good response, but that's also the opening number, and everyone is super excited. So yeah, those were probably the biggest ones that people point out. That's why I think that actually Portugal may have done a whole lot better than a lot of people expected. So I'm very happy, because I always said, I'm not sure how you felt the same way. I felt it was a little bit too red at times and too dark. I wish it would have been a little bit more light, but it didn't matter, because, I mean, Mimi Cat stole the show. So she is so good. Yeah, so that makes me happy. Can the qualifiers still work on their performances before Saturday? I was a bit concerned that Karia's flow was off and bean. A bean? Not really. They cannot make any major changes. Camera work-wise, this is all set now. The only thing that can change is the sound a little bit. If like something was too low, his vocals and the backup singer was too loud, or the backtrack, something like that, maybe. But in terms of outfits or camera work, not really. This is a done deal now. Press conference starting. Yes, I have it up here as well. I cannot show it on screen because you're not allowed to show someone else's live stream. But I am paying attention to it. So when the numbers are being drawn, I will let you know where they're ending up in, and you can watch on the side as well, of course. They probably go in order. So with Norway going first, yeah, they're not going to open again. No, Norway's going last. I mean, Croatia. My brain was going the way back. Croatia's not going to be contender for the win, right? So I don't think their half really matters. They're not going to open the show because it's a little bit too jarring. They're not going to close the show because it's too jarring. So we'll see. For me, Lorraine and Vesna stole the show tonight. As I said, Lorraine was on a plus game today, but so was Czechia. If you watch my live streams over the past few days, you know that I said, like, Czechia is through. I mean, it looked just so amazing. When you just get the first, like, 30 seconds snippet, you're not quite sure, but the whole flow of it and the energy was just right. They got it right. And it's not like the most expensive staging, right? Because it's basically just a backdrop and them just walking around, but so well executed. And Czechia, almost every year, right, since 2016, they missed 2 qualifications, right, in 2017 and then in 21. Other than that, they just had so many good results, and I'm just so happy that they are no longer just like that random country that every once in a while qualifies. Pray for my French heart that Finland and Sweden will have a second half, please, Matt. So whoever, if one gets first and the other one gets second, I wouldn't worry about it too much. Only because if Finland draws first, they will get a running order between 10 and 13. And, you know, same for Sweden. So I would not worry about it. I would actually probably be more concerned if both of them will draw first. That would be my concern. And if you look at historically, if you get numbers between 10 and 13, it's not going to be as big of a deal. People will remember your song and vote for it. Look at all, I mean, Kalusha Orchestra is a different story, so we're going to put them aside even. But let's go back in time a little bit more. In 2019, Duncan Lawrence, he did really well. In 2017, Salvador Sobral, the largest runaway victory from the first half. 2015 doesn't really count either because, you know, there was a jury that put him through. Conchita Wurst came, you know, there's so many examples. So I would not worry about it. So yeah, it just comes on when too many strong songs are in the same half. Like in the first half, you know, if you get Finland in the first half, you get Sweden in the first half, and then you get some others like Norway in the first half, Australia, you know, if they're all in the first half, that would be more concerning. But I don't think that's going to happen. So don't worry about it too much. And I might bite, you know, eat my own words in just a little bit. Matt, please talk about the non-qualifiers. Yeah, so I talked already about Netherlands. In terms of the others, none of them are really shocking or surprising to me. A lot of people are disappointed that Latvia did not make it. I'm disappointed too. It's in my personal top 10 in the semi for sure. But I knew this was going to go through. It just was not impactful enough, I think. The song is a grower, and the running order wasn't right. Everything just didn't come together, and it sucks for Latvia because I feel like if they would have been a semi-2, we wouldn't even have the dialogue right now. It would be like a likely qualifier. So it does suck for Latvia, but I hope they feel encouraged about the love and that they've received from so many people because it has been quite popular. But yeah, I'm not surprised. It would have been a nice, pleasant surprise that would have qualified, but I just didn't see it happening. But yeah, quality song, absolutely. Azerbaijan, not much to say. It just, even I'm watching it now, I'm like, oh man, I really like the second part, right? When they really get like in the Beatles mode there. But by that time, you've lost too many people. It just takes too long to get there. And so I knew that this wasn't going to be a thing. Then Netherlands, I talked about already. My brain. Ireland. I mean, Ireland, we knew that wasn't going to happen. That was just not a thing. Unfortunately, I didn't think the staging suited the song. I don't like that the way he sang the song, and then he stopped singing when he was getting all excited. I'm like, it really took me out of the moment as well. It just didn't come together, unfortunately, as much as I would have loved for that to happen. And then Malta, as I said, was one of my favorites this year, and I thought it was such a fun and energetic staging. People just weren't enough into the song. I was one of my favorites this year, and I'm bummed out. I knew I took a risk, you know, putting them as a predictor, you know, qualifier. It's a hill I want to die on, and now I'm dead. But don't get me wrong. Serbia was one of my favorite songs as well here. Look, you can go back if you need evidence, by the way. Look at my prediction video. It's I was have them both in my top 10. So I cannot be sad about it. So yeah, that's just what it is. So I would love to hear from you all as well. People were talking about, also you saw a few clips of France, Germany, and Italy. And I can't wait for you to see the whole, I mean, I feel as, I don't remember even the Italian clip. What they showed, but I find Germany and France, they certainly very well captured the spirit of the entire 3 minutes. It reminded me again, everyone, because it was so busy. I think I set up my stuff here when Italy was showing the clip. Did you get the more the visuals of the bouncing dancers in the back on the trampoline? That's kind of a pretty little accentuating thing, but yeah, they all looked pretty good. How long will you be streaming tonight? I don't know yet. I'm gonna wait until when they start bringing the people in that qualified and see what half they're going to end up with. As a reminder, the big five and Ukraine, they already have their halves. As a matter of fact, 2 of them already have the position. We all know that Ukraine is going to perform in 19th position, and the UK, May Muller, will close the show in 26th position. That is pretty exciting. And then Germany will be performing in the second half. We'll join Ukraine and UK somewhere on that half. And then the other songs, the slower songs, I mean, France is slow-ish, Spain and Italy, they will be in the first half. So that means evenly divided. We still have 10 slots for the first half and 10 slots for the second half. So there's a 50-50 shot as of right now for Croatia drawing first to get either side. So, and then as they draw, things will kind of, develop from there. So with every half that's been drawn, the other, the odds are increased one way or the other. Should we be scared about Estonia? Oh, should we be scared about Estonia since she has been dropping and dropping in the odds since the rehearsals? I was surprised. I mean, the rehearsals went so well. I have to see the whole run through. It's just, I think people don't click with it emotionally as much as they were hoping for. If you ask me, no, don't count them out just yet. It's a very well performed show. I personally thought it looks a little empty on stage at times. It's just this current shuffling around a little bit. And let's wait for the first dress rehearsal tomorrow. We will be here talking you through these 16 performances as we watch them and give you the deets, because we haven't seen the whole thing either yet. It'll be very exciting, as well as the interval acts and all of that stuff. So yeah, I would not worry about Estonia too much at this point. It's a little bit, and oftentimes it's less about Estonia dropping, even though they are. It's more about other songs rising. Like Denmark got a little bit of push at some point because people were impressed with the staging, from what they saw. That's what people just do. So betting odds aren't always that telling. Although I think in this one case, I think I got all 10 right? In summer one. Am I missing? No, Croatia, even though Croatia was 10th. I think they all 10 qualifiers were betting odds qualifiers. So this is pretty, that was a good one. And people asked when I will be online tomorrow. So the show, I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, starts at 1:30 my time, which is 2:30 Central European time, I think. So I will be then probably live like 30 minutes before, something like that. So around 1 o'clock my time, which would be 2 yours. I think that's what it is. But I'll put up a link tonight. So I just have to confirm the times and all of that stuff. I just want to check on the team. Okay, so they're already back to their apartment. And they're going to do some work. So that's what's happening. While we're waiting for the press conference to start, because right now I'm looking at empty chairs, ask away. Do you think Karja was shown more during the show to build the hype and keep him in the competition? Lorraine seems a little detached, but I wonder if the EB are worried she'll win too easily. There are a bunch of questions. So I don't recall him being shown that much. He had his own little dance moment, but so did the busker, and so did Israel. So I don't recall him getting more attention, but at the same time, this time around, I didn't pay much attention between what happened between the songs and the results, because I was running back to my apartment, or my hotel, I should say, to get situated. So I missed some of that because I've seen it 3 times already. So I don't think they switched anything up unless they're really focused on Finland. I don't know. Lorraine is more she's as cool as a cucumber kind of person. That's just her persona. I wouldn't read too much into it. In my opinion. Let's see here. What do you think RTE should do now with the Irish selection? Do you think this might finally point they'll completely rethink it? Oh dear, Rebecca, thank you for the question. And I want to say yes, but they have not learned the lesson in years. And I'm realistic, not even pessimistic, realistic about this. And I don't think they will. They won't learn the lesson. They've failed with national finals and they didn't fix it. They failed with internal selections and they haven't fixed it. They got lucky in 2018 with the qualification, but since 2014, right, until now, 1 qualification in 10 years, basically, that's bad. But they don't do it. Like last year, they didn't qualify. They still didn't change anything with the national final. And when I watched the national final, they're like, oh, we might win Eurovision. Just a song that was chosen. So many people were like saying what's the best option. I'm like, I disagree. So they need to bring in someone who actually knows how to pick songs that are options, because I just don't know that the selection is really that good. But even then, they have good songs. They don't win. Never, ever. Finland and Israel were shown on the screen a lot. I barely saw Lorraine, so I was surprised. When? Was it when you said like as the results were coming in? You know how they switch between things? I didn't catch all of that because I was way too nervous. I always have to rewatch all of that stuff to see how this is all going to pan out. Do you think Island's wardrobe malfunction cost them? I didn't even notice the malfunction. When you're in the big, because we were all talking and watching it together, so I didn't even catch it on this one. But no, I don't think anything could have saved that song at this point. The whole package just did not work. I feel like there was mission not accomplished. The spirit of the song, the anthemic anthem, they should have done that, but instead they went with glamour, golden looks. And I'm like, I don't know. They should have all just get the audience involved and shout along with it. And I just think they missed the mark with the staging. And I don't know if the song ever would have made a difference to anything. So apparently they're drawing the numbers again before the actual press conference. So that makes things a little easier for us. People are, at least somebody said that right now. Let's see if that is actually accurate. No, I didn't see anything yet. Because I've done it in the past. Like what they did in 21 or 22. They drew the actual halves before the press conference. But the official Eurovision channel has not updated us on that at all. They would have done that. So we're still waiting for the press conference as of right now, just in case you're wondering. So, what do you think about the postcards? I love the postcards. I would love to hear from you guys as well, because I've seen so many times now that I'm so used to them. But I love the idea of transitioning, from Ukraine to the UK and then the country performing at that point. I think it was just very done in a classy way without being tacky. And I just enjoyed them very much. And they're still highlighting the artists at the same time. So I think the postcards deserve a round of applause in my book. And the graphics that come with it, by the way, I love those as well. Those little things, that we see. So people are saying second half, why isn't it channel? So is that true? So that means the numbers are going down. If both Moldova and Croatia are in the second half, that brings down the numbers significantly. Yeah, second half for Moldova, and then Croatia will perform in the second half of the grand final. That means those numbers of the second half shrinking quickly. We have 8 left for the second half and still 10 for the first half. That increases the big ones like Finland and Sweden to end up in the first half. But I would not worry about it too much just yet. Switzerland will draw halves next. If Switzerland goes in first half, then we have another ballot in the first half. It's going to be a ballot-heavy setup. So draws on TikTok Live. I don't use TikTok. These bastards, see, they get another 1 billion money on because of this. TikTok, really? TikTok. I flippin' hate TikTok. I don't even know how TikTok works. See, now it froze. It froze for me. Screw TikTok. Ah! Okay, see, I'm gonna reset TikTok. TikTok. Let's do this again. Okay. I was locked out. I'm just gonna use my other update here from people. Anyways. Yeah, see, now it locked me out. Oh, no, it has my credit card information. What the? Now I'm locked out, and I'm like, I didn't remember the password. Oh, it has to send me a code. Stop. So, yeah, so we're not going to, I don't even need to watch the press conference then for this halves, which I almost kind of like because it takes a little longer. So Switzerland, as you hear, is in the first half of the running order. They're joining Spain and France and Italy as the ballady stuff. Now we have 9 open slots for first half and 8 still for the second half. Finland, Karja will draw next. And we'll find out what half he will be in. Some people will be disappointed if he gets first half, but once again, happens all the time for some of the favorites, and they get really good running order, which is one of the reasons why I hate the producer-driven running orders, because it's favoritism to the max, and I'm just not important enough to make a difference. So, but what can you do? Forgive me, I am multitasking as things are being refreshed on the Twitter machine. Matt giving open. No, I'm really good with technology. Actually, I studied that. But TikTok, I hate. TikTok is a stupid machine thing, and now I'm locked out. And I can't figure it out. I mean, I just have to send myself the code, but I don't have time for this right now, and I don't care that much. Finland will perform in the first half of the grand final. So Finland will be in the first half. But as said, most likely they'll get like 10 to 13. So do not freak out about that. Those Karja fans out there, he's a fan favorite, and it will carry that energy all the way to the end. Although, again, it would feel unfair if he gets 13th again, you know, like the last option in that half, but it's just such weird. Karja will not open tutor. Not going to happen. They would never, ever put the fan favorites, the betting odds favorite early on. Every time those favorites get a really good running order, has never happened. It'll not happen. That would cause an outrage. That's why I hate the producer-driven running order, because it's favoritism to the max. Yeah, so I wouldn't worry about that. Then the next one, and Finland is actually good because there's so many slow songs in there right now. He may be the one that really stands out. Czechia, we'll see. We'll see what Czechia will end up. Czechia, I mean, it's not a contender for the win, but I can see a contender for the left side of the scoreboard. And they will not. The thing is, even if Czechia gets first half, they will not do them dirty this time, because they just opened last year. Do you know what I mean? So I don't think they're going to make him open again. And it's not an opening number anyways. So, yeah, I wouldn't worry about it too much. They'll perform in the second half. Czechia will be in the second half of the show. So another faster song. It's not a ballady, right? So it still continue to be more energetic the second half. We haven't had a slow song in the second half just yet. So maybe once again, it's a good thing for Finland. We shall see. The next country that will draw the numbers is Israel. I think we're now 8-8, right? Or no, 8-7, something like that. I don't know. I'm losing track of the numbers. Do you think Finland has a chance to win? Absolutely. Don't overthink the running order of the halves, because it's more worried about that when you perform 1st through 8th. That's usually where statistically those tend to perform not as good. And since it is all driven by the producers and they pick the ones that are popular and put them usually closer to the end of the first half, Finland will be between 11 to 13 would be my guess, but not earlier than 10. So I'm saying like Israel would be a good opener. I can see that happening. Israel wouldn't be a terrible opener, actually. And again, it's a great song, quite popular, but it's not within like the winning territory. So they could potentially be the sacrificial lamb for that. But we don't know all the songs. But she will be in the second half. So you doesn't have to worry. Israel will perform in the second half of the grand final. Another upbeat song. This is crazy nuts. This is crazy nuts. What are crazy nuts? I don't know. It's a word now. So yes, another upbeat song for the half. And now Portugal. Portugal. I think Portugal is just great that they're in the final. So I think that it doesn't really matter that. I mean, for you fans do, of course. But again, second half is great. But there's so many upbeat songs already. Having her in the first half may not be a bad thing. So we shall see. But yeah, it's going to happen any second now. So what if Lorraine gets first half as well, huh? But the more second halves there are, the less for the second semifinal. And the second semifinal is significantly slower than the first half, right? They have more less songs, especially the first half of the semi too. So we shall see. So I still don't know who will be the opener, because any of the songs chosen so far for the first half, highly unlikely they'll open it. The only one that draw first half right now, Karja will not open it. 0 chance. Switzerland will not open the show. Switzerland could be a potential second or third song of the night, though. Portugal will be in the first half. So Portugal will perform the first half of the grand final. Is that an opener? Even though it's upbeat and fun, I just don't feel this is a song that would go with first, but potentially. But again, there are more songs to come. Because next up, after Portugal, we are now drawing Sweden, another big moment. If they're going to be first or second half. We'll find out momentarily. And once again, people, stop freaking out. If Sweden draws second half, that doesn't mean, oh, they're winning. People, don't overreact. It's a little bit more. And I do agree, someone said Portugal might be too culturally specific. That I agree. That's why it doesn't feel like an opener to me. It needs to be a little bit more, I don't want to use the word generic because it was condescending, but a little bit more mainstream-wise accessible. Kind of like what Czech Republic was last year. That was a good opener. Like Norway would be a great opener, but they're not going to put it first twice. It would be terrible. I just keep refreshing. I'll just keep refreshing. I'm just sliding, up refreshing Twitter here. Here we go. Sweden is going to be in... Oh, no, that's still Portugal. That's how I get an update. All right, let's keep waiting. I want to know. I want to know what running order it is. Somebody mentioned Australia. Good call, Ali. I said that as well. Australia could potentially be the opener if they get first half, because I think, with them close, they do that a lot, right? If you close the show, you may open the next one, unless you're the big favorite. Like Finland, they will not put them first. It's just not going to happen. But Australia would be an amazing opener. I agree with as well. And they're not going to win probably, but they could still survive the first slot in terms of results. They're going to do probably well regardless. But we'll see. Come on. I want an update. Could France be the opener? Somebody's saying no, I don't think so. And France didn't get the greatest running order last time. Sweden will perform in the first half. Oh dear. So both Sweden and Finland will be in the first half of the competition. The question is, who will go first and who will go before and after them? I think at this point, both will be between 10 and 13 running order. For Sweden in particular, but even Finland. But now Sweden, because that setup is so complicated, it has to be before a break. So whenever the break is the break like after 8 or 9 songs? That's probably where they're going to put her, right? It just requires that setup. That's why they had to break before and after Sweden. So, but I urge you folks, Finland and Sweden, 2 favorites, are currently surrounded by a lot of slower songs. So that may only help them. The running order, as said, worry about if it's first to 8th kind of thing. They're usually a little bit more, meh. So, but Serbia is next. Serbia, they will not open it, of course, either. If they get first half, I could see them being more like 7th or something like that. But if they get second half, we have another upbeat. Well, it's darker. It's not like a dancey. Well, it is dancey, actually. But you get what I'm saying. It's not like as uplifting like some of the other songs, fun, dance long kind of thing. But it would still certainly not be a ballad. So another very active song in the second half. We shall see. And then we only have Norway left. And then we're done. And then it adds a few questions. I know I'm just seeing this chat going, so forgive me if I don't respond as quickly as I would like. We just have to wait for the rest. Hold on tight for Serbia EBU is going to give Sweden the best spot. I think EBU wants either Sweden or Finland to. I think EBU has been quite supportive of Kärja as well. So I think don't count out them just yet. Absolutely. Just saying. Just saying. Serbia will have drawn first half as well. So now the second halves are increasing a little bit. Serbia will be performing the first half of the grand final. As I said, I don't know the whole layout of it, but Serbia, they will not give it like another first three. I think they'll be more like seventh or eighth maybe, but you never know. It's very hard to say without knowing all of the songs that will be there. In case you're wondering, the running order usually is being announced in the early hours of Friday, because they need to have the running order to do the first dress rehearsal, which starts around noon probably on Friday. So that's going to be a quick decision. That means we only have Norway left. Was that the first time that Norway was announced last in the qualifiers? Help me, chat. Has there been a time where Norway was the last country to be announced? I feel like they have been first, but they've never been like with Tix. I'm trying to remember if they had last announced spot before. I can't recall. I cannot think of the time where they did were announced last. Oh, 2008. Thank you. Yeah, that was so long ago. No wonder I don't remember. Yes, 2008. But there's always someone else. Yes, that was last. Thank you. I was going back, but it would have taken me probably another 2 minutes to get there. Funny. So now we're just waiting for Norway draws, and then we have them all. And then let's answer a few more questions. Norway, if she goes second, then we have another upbeat song. And I think her odds just have increased with the numbers of first half drawn lately. But yeah, Norway, that would not make her open again if she gets first half. Yeah. 2 years in a row that first half is stronger. Well, when you say stronger, you mean like the two Sweden and Finland favorites? I don't think you're wrong, but so yeah, I forgot to say. Norway got second half, another upbeat song. It's going to be an upbeat second half so far. So the producers are crying probably right now, and I'm okay with that because that's what you wanted. But yeah, so thinking about, so once again, let's go for this. The countries that were drawn in first half: Switzerland, Finland, Portugal, Sweden, and Serbia. That's 5 out of 10, right? And then second half: Croatia, Moldova, Czech Republic, Israel, and Norway. So 5 first half, 5 second half. I didn't watch the TikTok. Anyone who has watched it live on TikTok, did they have more papers in the bowl once Norway drew, or did they actually run out of them? So they have deliberately put 5 each in for each half. Can you tell me? Because I didn't watch it. Or were there still papers left after Alessandra drew her number? So as a reminder, Germany's in the second half as well. Ukraine and the United Kingdom. And then first half, we have France, Spain, and Italy. Now, Germany and Finland will be spread out probably because, they're both more like metal sound. There are all... there were still papers left. Thanks, Kylie, for telling. Oh, and as well, but I just saw Kylie's message. Thank you for confirming that. So there were papers left because I would have hated if they deliberately decided, because it should have been just a fair thing. Yeah. So that is. I would love to hear your thoughts as well now about the draw. So at ES United, if you don't mind, so I catch them easier. This one didn't, but I saw it anyways. So Germany is probably getting 17 to 23. Remains to be seen, SP. There are other, we have to look at like Australia falls a little bit into that bucket as well. So it comes down to if Australia draws first or second half. So I would think that if both, let's say Australia and Germany in the second half, one of them will be like 17 and one would be like 23 or something like that, that would kind of spread them out a little bit as well. But I would actually think if Australia gets first, I could see them opening the show and Kaya getting like 10 or 11 or 12. And then Germany can be like 18 because that would kind of spread them out as well. And then, those kind of songs would probably be spread out a little bit. Australia can't go first because we barely be awake. I don't think that's how it works. But because the earliest Australia has gone. What was the earliest running order for Australia? Somebody help me. Was it 2017? Not in the semis, in the grand final I'm talking about. Jesus. When you do all this, my brain does not really compute all the information. So you reckon a semi 2 qualifier will be an opener? I think as of right now, that would be Dami was 7th or something. No, Dami was like 12th or 13th Aussie Rose, I'm pretty sure. I remember that she got a really favorable running order. So could Austria open it? I don't think so. It's a little bit too campy for that. I'm going to bring up the running order real quick. The countries for semi 2 real quick. And the songs that I could see opening in the second half, Belgium, if they qualify, could be an opener. I think that's a decent one. Poland? It's a light pop. It's not a threat to anything if they were to qualify. Austria's just a little bit too camp. Yeah, the only one I truly see is Australia right now. So yeah, I don't know. Somebody says Slovenia. I could see that happening, but that would be also cruel, right? Finally, Slovenia qualifying, and then they get the shitty first slot. I don't know, but then somebody has to go first, right? Who will be the sacrificial lamb? That is the question. We will do our final predictions for the second half tomorrow evening as well. Somebody's saying Poland's qualifying. I'm like, I have Poland as a qualifier right now myself. So we shall see. Manselmalo 1 from 12. Somebody's saying, no, actually, Mans went before that. I think he was number 9 even, wasn't he? And there is a caveat, though. When I talk about the running order, that mostly impacts the televoters, not the juries. And in the televote, Mans only came third. So that's another thing that you need to take into account as well. So yes, right now, Belgium or Australia and potentially Poland could be good openers. Slovenia maybe as well, but that would be just cruel, man. Just so cruel. Oh, no, yeah, that wouldn't be cool. But again, somebody has to. Somebody has to, so yeah. And it will always feel unfair. Somebody said I missed a super chat. Forgive me if I did. It's just so much going on right now. I'll check in 2 hot seconds, okay? Keep asking away for a few questions at ESC United in the chat while I'm bringing that up in just a moment. I have to go to a different screen. But thank you for letting me know. The earliest Australia Grand was 12th in 2015. No, that can't be right. That was the earliest. They always got 12th or 13th. No. There were some earlier ones, right? They're not always put them in 12th or 13th first half. Really? No way. Can somebody confirm that? That would be surprising. I feel like, when was Isaiah Fire Brace, right? In 2017. Wasn't he like the earliest? I just trying to remember when he performed. Sorry. Australia got a lot of first halves, actually. It was the earliest I checked. Really, Arnaud? That is crazy. Lots of love for Australia from the producers then, because they got plenty of first halves. I always thought maybe Australia drew second half then with Oh no, you know what I'm thinking? Because he had an early running order in the semis. That's why my brain got stuck. You're right. You're right. Because he was like, and he had a first running order in the second half that year, then, right? Yeah, it's coming back now. But see, this would be the year where they could have put Australia finally early. And very important for John here, Salvador Sobral won the televote from 11th. Exactly. And not just one, but he got like a lot of points. Technically, you can also put Ukraine in there with the Kalush Orchestra. We understand circumstances were a little different. Conchita Wurst won from the first half as well. 12, 13 or something like that. So it is it. And let's look at the winners. It started in 2013. Well, I mean, the producer driven. Emily for the Forest was second half. Conchita won from the first half in 2015. Well, the televote winner was Italy. So I'm just looking at televote winners right now. In 2016, Sergei was second half. 2017, Salvador Obral. 2018, Netta, she was second half. 2019, Duncan. Well, the televote winner was actually Norway. So they were second half as well. And then 21, Italy, second half, close to the end. 22, College Orchestra. Again, a little different story. But to be fair, most of the betting odds and fan favorites were drawn into the second half. So it kind of went that way. But when they're in the first half, they usually did quite well as well. So that's why I'm saying don't overthink it. I'm just curious how they're going to stretch out Sweden and Finland, because they're certainly going to put them right next to each other. Then somebody has to go 10th and one has to go 13th or something like that. Yeah. When are the breaks usually? They need a break before and after Sweden. Yes, that's what I'm saying. That's why I don't think Sweden will close the semi. I could see Sweden being 9th. When is I think it varies. It's not always at the same time, but I think they have like a break between around 8, 9 or something like that. I don't recall, but I think it changes. I will find the super chat. I just, get distracted talking to you all. I'll get to it. Trust me. It just takes me a moment because I have to switch screens. Say that 3 times fast. Imagine the nightmare if both Australia, Austria, and Slovenia all draw the second half. Is that a nightmare? I don't know what would be so bad about it. Maybe I'm missing some context there. I'm going to the super chat. Relax. Oh, Danielos Dumikos, thank you so much. The draws on TikTok Live, you said, and if you had any balls, they would do Finland first, Sweden second. Or the other way around, right? I would be here for it. Wouldn't that be interesting? I would love that. As a fan of both songs, I don't, would probably be sad, but it's not going to happen. In the previous, random running order, sure, but we will never get that. And did I mention I hate the producer-driven running order? Only once or 15 times. How many papers are left? Let's take a look again at the draw. Oh, no, we have 5 each. That's right. So 5 from the first half and 5 from the second half. So whoever will be announced first on Thursday will have a 50-50 shot being in the first or second half. It's just evenly split. Conchita also won from 11th. Yeah, I thought it was like 10 or 11th. But she was, again, a favorite, so she was given a really good running order. It brings me back to my original point. So, yeah, overall, it was a really wonderful show with, for the most part, predictable qualifiers. That's one thing I miss the juries a little bit, because juries are a little bit less predictable than the televoters. But I also do think that they're all deserving. They're all deserving qualifiers, so how can I be mad at that? And I'm glad, especially for Croatia. It's been a while since they've qualified. The other ones have seen the finals quite often, but for Croatia, it's wonderful. Whatever you may think of the songs. Sad for Ireland and Latvia because they haven't seen a final in so long. And Netherlands and Azerbaijan that qualify a lot, so for the country itself, it's not the end of the world. For the artists, it sucks. It always sucks for the artists. Yeah, odd makers nailed every qualifier. That doesn't happen a whole lot, but this time they did. But that goes back to the betting odds are often catered to the public's taste, not the jury's. And that's why they became a little bit more obvious. So it's a little early, but I'm going to jump to the betting odds anyway. Switzerland is now in 13th place as a potential winner. Big push. I don't think that's going to happen. Serbia's climbing a little, but not. I mean, some people are being removed, some countries. So yeah, we shall see. But I'm curious to see if there will be major movements in the predictions. I mean, I don't think so because the results were quite predictable. There were not many oh my god moments. At least IMHO. In case you're wondering what will happen next, we will be live streaming tomorrow. We'll be here going through the second semifinal for all the performances with you in the afternoon for the first dress rehearsal. Some of us will be in the arena. We also will be doing a live blog in case you cannot watch and you want to read it on ESC United. In addition, we'll also be here for the second dress rehearsal, the so-called jury show. Even though the juries will not vote, they'll still listen in because there's always a backup jury. So the acts will still give 100% tomorrow evening in particular. So we shall see. I'm already sad for Romania not qualifying. Well, don't count your chickens until they hatch, they say. So we shall see if there's some hatching going on there or not. I know it's an uphill battle for him. And if the betting odds are close to what we expect as well, then yeah, it's probably not going to happen. But so if the betting odds are 100% correct again for the semi 2, hello, yeah, I think okay, I think my thing just froze. Boo! This internet here sucks monkey balls. So my apologies, but I had to refresh. The last thing I was saying was that the if we can believe the betting odds again for the second semi, and they're going to be 100% correct, we're going to have Austria through. Cyprus is now number 2 in the betting odds. That is interesting, passing Australia. Armenia number 4. Then Slovenia will qualify, Lithuania, Georgia, Belgium, Poland, and Denmark. That means Estonia is out, Greece is out, Albania, Iceland, Romania, San Marino, all of them will be out. I'm saying it's correct. I'm just saying, if they're 100% correct again. But keep in mind, between Estonia and Denmark, it is like, there's a 57% chance for Denmark and a 56% chance for Estonia. So it's not that crazy, actually. So, and I do find the second semifinal way less predictable, right? Semi 1 was the group with so many strong entries. It just was ridiculous how strong they were. Let me actually, I told you how about my predictions and how I got 9 out of 10 because, I took that risk with Malta. Boo, didn't work. That's okay. You can always win. I want to see how the rest of the team. So Connor, let's see. Connor thought Latvia would go through. So that he's off on that one. But other than that, I think, and he didn't think Croatia would go through. So that was his difference there. Oh no, he actually thought that Latvia would go through and Malta would go through, and neither of them would go through. So Connor got 8 out of 10. So he didn't think Croatia and Serbia would go through. So he got 8 out of 10. Roy, let's see. Roy didn't think Norway would go through. He also didn't think Portugal would go through. And instead, he thought Azerbaijan would make it. and Malta. So he got 8 out of 10 as well. So I'm still doing better than them. Melanie got, she thought Malta would go through and didn't think Switzerland would make it. So she got 9 out of 10. So she got the same as me, just a different country. Gabe. So Gabe thought the Netherlands would make it and Malta and said Portugal would be out in Croatia. So he got 8 out of 10. And then Schwan, aka Sean, he also thought Malta would go through and that didn't happen. And he didn't think Switzerland would go through. So he got 9 out of 10. So Matt, Melanie, and Sean got 9. And Connor, Roy, and Gabe got 8 out of 10. So the thing is, the worst you could go 5 out of 10, in your predictions. That is interesting enough. Kieran Fox, by the way, I cannot bring it up on screen, your super chat, but I want to thank you for sending that over. Amazing work so far, Matt and team. Thanks for all your hard work. My winner tonight, Hannah Waddingham. She is amazing. I talked to a colleague in the press center earlier today, and we said she's going to be like in the same kind of bucket, like the all-time greats, Anke Engelke, Petra Mede, Filomena. Is that her name? From Portugal, I'll forget her name. Those really like strong hosts, just full of personality and charisma and funny as. Tried to come with a different word than that word. I had to stop myself. Thoughts on France as a potential final opener? I don't think that France will open the show. I don't see France as, number one, they got not the greatest running order last year in 6, right? And so they're not going to penalize them again that much. And then the song just does not feel as an opener, except for the big, grand, beautiful orchestral part. I would be shocked if they put France first. But, I've seen crazier things in life. For sure. What do you think about UK chances for a left-hand side of the scoreboard on Saturday? Alex People is asking. A good chance. I would say, as of right now, a 70% chance. Running order is fantastic. UK is the kind of country that I could see potentially crash and burn, not coming together well. I can see them coming together really, really well and doing much better than some people predicted. So UK out of the direct finalists is probably the biggest wild card for me right now. But I have a good feeling about it. I really want UK do well. Number one, it's a great song. But also number two, I don't want UK feel like Sam Ryder was a one-off thing and they're going back to 20 years of bad results. I want them to stay engaged. I want them to stay encouraged. I'm worried that if they get another meh result, they're like, that's it. See you in 20 years. And I do not want that to go down. I disagree. They usually just send good songs. Oh, you're not talking to me. Sorry. There's only going to be absolute devastation in semifinal 2 if semifinal 1 is anything to go by. I have lost so much hope for many acts. It's always, we'll get back. I mean, it always sucks. Again, I'm so disappointed. So sad that Latvia and Malta didn't make it. Those songs deserved it. For me, especially Malta was high up. But it's subjective, right? It's just like the most popular songs did go through, and as I said, the betting odds were pretty, indicated that was going to happen. A lot of the fan polls indicated it was going to happen, so nothing here is a shocker. So I'm not quite sure what you can be disappointed for sure, but I don't think anyone should be shocked in any shape or form in my book. Alex was like, thanks, Matt. I really agree. We really embraced ESCs and Sam. You're brilliant, by the way. Well, thank you. And by the way, if in case somebody watched, I was in the Eurvision Village. I was approached by several people, and forgive me, I don't even ask for every name or remember all the other ones. So if you're watching, thank you so much for approaching me. Again, I just love when people talk to me, and even though we don't have much time, I just love that. So thank you. At the press conference, the leader of Let 3 just said that in war, there are no winners. At Eurovision, there are no losers. I'm not crying. You're crying. So yeah, that's I'm so happy that it's a beautiful message. Whoa, that got me. Woo! Yeah, no, that was really, really nice. It was predicted. Because we knew small countries have small chance. I don't think that is fair. We have seen plenty of small countries do well. Malta has done well quite a bit. San Marino qualified several times. Iceland is a small country. They qualify. So no, I don't believe that. There is no evidence to suggest that. When you look at the songs that are popular, they usually do well. When Malta has popular songs, they do really well. Malta came second in the televote in 2021 in the semis. Look how high Iceland was in 21 in the televote. So no, it's just the evidence doesn't support that. What you can say is they don't have guaranteed friendly votes, right? They have to work for every point, to get a little further, but they can do it. Who's going to get second position, Switzerland or Italy? Well, there are other options as well. We have to wait and see if Estonia qualifies and they come first half. They could be there. But what they've done lately, you don't necessarily get a ballot anymore in the second slot. You usually get like a ballot in the third slot. But it may be different this time around as well because we already have so many ballots in the first half. So somebody would have to be that one. So I am not sure. Yeah. Let's see here. Who's going to get second? Oh, we did that already. Blurb. I suck. Surely Spain would be the best opener of the ones we know so far. No, Spain, that is way too niche and way too culturally specific, and that's not an opener to get you going. You need an opener that get people really excited and into the mood for it, the show. Look at the songs. Czechia last year in 21. El Diablo. Songs. Usually, they put songs first. They're not contenders for win, but that they get the people going and excited. So that's why people are saying Australia could be a potential candidate if they draw first half. Potentially Belgium, if they qualify and get first half, but it won't. So we shall see. Could Romania be a surprise qualifier? I know a lot of people that love the song TBH. I think so, but I like the song. So that comes the bias here from me. I think that it's unlikely. It is really unlikely. I think it's just not enough competitive mass appeal, for the lack of a better word. I still think it's a great song, though. And I understand it's just not for everyone. And I have to see the whole thing. I'll see it for the first time tomorrow. I see the whole product. I wasn't crazy about some of the staging choices that they've made, so I don't know if it's going to help them a whole lot. If Finland wasn't a favorite, do you think that we'd be agreeing they would be first to perform? I could agree with that. ESC Sherman. I think that would be a great opener, actually. Absolutely. If they were the fan favorites, or one of the fan favorites, I should say. Yeah, I think that would be a great opener. And that's how it goes. That's why the producer deciding running order is BS. Let's talk about that for the next 3 hours, because every time somebody says it, I get so mad. I get emotional. Why are you so sure Finland won't open anyway? Because they would never, ever, in a gazillion years, put the favorites at the beginning. Look at previous years. Since the introduction of the second the producer run order, you never had the favorites that ended up in the first half perform early on. Now, some of them you can say certain ones have been less ideal, sure, but for the most part, it is, especially the super, super popular ones, they wouldn't do that. For instance, in 2000, and let's go for them, 2013, that was a little different. It was still brand new, and I don't think any of the first halves were really the competitive ones anyways. So France, Lithuania, Moldova, Finland, and Spain were the first 5 songs in 2013, and Belgium. None of these 6 songs were even remotely considered candidates. But then again, you look at the first half, none of them were. Russia was quite popular with Dina Garipova, What If. Germany, Cascada was popular, right? She got 11. And then the Netherlands, Anouk. She got the best spot, the 13th in the running order. 2014, it was Conchita Wurst. She was the favorite, and she was giving number 11, right? So we can go through them all. Bansamalo, Luke Noik from Belgium. I forgot his name right now. And keep going down the list. It's never happened. And if this were to happen, that would be a shocker. Is there a chance that I could be wrong? I'll give it a 3% chance. And if those 3% chance I was wrong, then I will have a jaw that is on the floor. But I will do a reaction video to the running order anyway, so you'll find out. Alicia, what a very stupid drawing half. Producers should decide the running order from one. Really? Let me disagree with this a lot. Like, opposite. You really want the producer to decide who goes first. Even worse. Oh, no. Let's not go to that. Let's come back. Rainbows and puppy farts. Okay, there you go. Just by the way, as you're still here at 11:30, just wanted to not forget to say thank you so much for the time you're spending with us on the streams. You must be exhausted. Not really. I didn't do that much today. I got up at 8:30 in the morning, which is usually late for me. And I stayed home. I did like another video. And then I went to the press center I ate something. And then I went to the press center. I talked to family. I have a birthday with my cousin. He has a big birthday. So I talked to him. And then I went to the press center around 12, like 1 o'clock maybe. And then I just spent a little bit there. I watched the extra third dress rehearsal, but I didn't like do much. I just chatted with other people I didn't get to talk to. And it was really, really nice. And then, I just did this. So it was really not that bad. Now I'm okay. It is impossible to randomly draw because of the props, though, Matt. That happened in the past. It wasn't an issue before, and now it is. That's the problem. The reason why they have props not because I find it unfair because certain countries, they cannot afford props. Portugal had a very small budget this year. Lithuania can never afford props. There's certain countries that just don't have that kind of cash. They're being penalized because they know that they're often Albania. Those countries are often being penalized and being put in a bad running order because they cannot afford props. If it would be a random order, things would be very different and countries would have a different approach and different things would be approved. Right now, the EBU approves everything, almost everything, because they know they can place them wherever they want based on that. And that is unfair. That's why Sweden almost always gets a running order after the break because they're almost always, exceptions like 2021, but for the most part, bring really big props and they're almost always, I guaranteed, a decent slot because of that. And it's driving me nuts. Quick thoughts on each non-qualifier from Semi 1. Somebody's asking. I mean, MC Lon, I did it before. I can go for them real quick. Latvia, a beautiful song. I knew they weren't going to qualify. If it was my personal ranking, they would be through. Malta is one of my favorites this year. I'm bummed out, but it just happens sometimes. Deserve better. Absolutely. Love the song. Boo. And the other ones, Azerbaijan was never a competitor. So I don't know. It was a very predictable semi, which is not a bad thing per se, but I'm just saying, there's not much to add. And then Ireland, I knew that from the get-go almost, and then the staging, all of that, I was even more convinced. And the Netherlands is a bummer. As every day passed throughout the last few weeks, the odds of them just went down and down and down further. And yeah, I just didn't like it. If Estonia qualifies, the second half of the final, would you better to perform? Do you agree? For her, if Estonia qualifies, I think yes. Any ballad, even like Georgia, which is more like power ballady, But that kind of song, you need a little bit more slower songs in the second half to kind of offset the lots and lots of upbeat songs. And I'm sure one of them will be in and out there, but it would be a great benefit. Surely they would have need at least put at least 2 songs between Finland and Sweden. Yes, that's what they do. That's why I'm saying it depends on when the break is. Sweden will most likely come after a break. Does anyone remember in the chat when the first break was last year? Because I don't. But maybe we can, and we had one less song, or the year before. Any of the most recent years. Does anyone remember? Now, that it could shift a little, right? It's not always set, but I want to say it wasn't like 9th or something like that. So I could see Sweden probably getting number 10. That would then put Finland in 13. Something like that. That would be my guess. There was a break after 8 and 12. Sweden will probably get the one after 12. No, I don't think so. Because that would mean Finland would have to go, way earlier. I think they would get after 8 if that were to be the case. 9, kind of like what Manselmalo got. Break is after 8. So I could see Sweden being number 9 and then Finland being number 12 or something like that. I just don't. They would have 2. Yeah, so that would be my thinking. But they may switch things up. You never know, right? It's very hard to say. We'll find out soon enough. Israel run from 7th with despite the Fuego hype. Wait, are you talking about 2018? Israel did not win from 7th. Israel was 22nd, right? Fuego was number 25, I think. Both Israel and Fuego were both closer to the end of the show. So I think that's incorrect, unless I misunderstand what you're saying. Yeah. Interesting note, neither of female performers today wore a dress or a skirt. Huh. Really? Understand anything like yours? No. Portugal. That's a dress. Right? Right? Right. Yeah, the semi-order is Crystal. Yes, that's correct. In the semi-order, she was, but she didn't. Yeah. Okay, got it. Sorry. Okay. So yes, sorry, I'm just going through that stuff here. So yes, that's what we have. What a great show. Great 10 qualifiers. I think they're all very well deserving, and that's not just a politically correct answer. I do think that they all worked their butts off, and they all looked great. It was one of the toughest semis in many years, and lots of good songs missed out, even though it was a small semi. So sucks, man. It sucks. But that just kind of everyone going into this knows that this could happen. And I'm just glad they didn't have to stand on the stage and for us to point at them and laugh. Matt, will you be seeing any shows in the arena? No, I'm live streaming. And since I made it so difficult, we can no longer do that from the press center. I have to do it from the hotel. And so it's just impossible. And I promised, I told Sean he can see them all because, he is moving to Canada and he will no longer be doing like Eurovision. And I want him to have the final one here in his home country, actually enjoy that. So I sacrificed my time in the arena. Yeah. How many people from semi you think is finishing top 10? In this one, I'll just keep saying what I said before. I think that, we don't know the entire running order. We don't know who's going to qualify from semi 2. So it's a little premature, of course. I tell you that out of these songs, I think there are a bunch of countries that have the potential. Norway, Portugal, Israel, Sweden, Czech Republic, Finland. I'll probably ask me which I don't think will have a shot. I don't think that Croatia will be in the top 10 only because I don't think that the juries will put them through to that. I don't know. Switzerland is such a good song, and I think people actually really like it. So, but I'm leaning towards no for Switzerland, especially now getting first half. So yeah, that's what I'm leaning towards. Serbia will be tough as well because I do think it could be a similar outcome as last year, just not quite as high with the televoters, I think. I don't know, but they all could have a shot. I think most of them could make it, except Croatia. Portugal, you can make a case maybe will be struggling a little bit as well. Not because I think it deserves top 10, but it's just a feeling. The rest, they're all potentially at risk. And who's finishing last in the finale, including semi 2? So this is a good question because I talk about all the time. I talk in the press center today. We talked it everywhere. Who would come last? Because over the past 10 years, basically, we always knew that a direct qualifier would be last based on quality, right? This year, when you look at the direct qualifiers, all 6 of them, none of them scream last place in the grand final. Is there for the first time since 2013 and the first time since we have this new system in 2014, is this the first time since that year 2013 that a semifinalist will come last? It was Ireland in 2013. They had a weird average system then. It sucked. He wouldn't have come last with the current system. I could see that happening. But looking at the 10 qualifiers from tonight, I find it hard to believe that any of these could come last. So as of right now, this is what I feel, subject to change, because we don't know who it goes through. Whoever comes in 9th or 10th place in semi 2 has the potential to come last in the grand final. That is what I'm sitting right now emotionally and strategically. Not strategic. It wasn't strategically, like objectively even. That's the wrong word. So let's say Denmark squeezes through, or in 9th place, or I don't know, Greece. Let's say Greece actually comes in 10th place, although Greece will get points from Cyprus, but yeah, so Denmark would be a good guess, I guess, something like that, right? Or Estonia even, if they squeeze in, maybe. So, but I'll really have to see who goes through, where they end up, and all that stuff. That's just one little piece there. Do you think France will get an early running order, assuming producers won't put them in between Sweden and Finland at the end of the first half? It's so hard to say because I want to say no, only because they didn't get a great running order last year. They're not going to give them another bad one. And she is 4th in the betting odds. So, but they may be running out of space between all the songs there. There needs to be I don't know. With France, this is a big question mark for me. France. I could see actually Spain getting not the greatest running order this time around. Initially, I thought she's going to get a great running order, but Spain was given a great running order last year, and they're just more fan favorites already in the first half. And do you want to be buried between Sweden and Finland at this point? Do you know what I mean? So it is really, really hard. Yeah, we need to. I feel Lithuania would finish last as well. Lithuania will never, ever finish last, Alicia. I hear what you're saying, but Lithuania has one of the biggest diaspora advantages in Eurovision actually right now. No will give it points. UK will give it points. Ireland will give it points. So they'll get already a bunch of televote points that will prevent them from coming last. They will not come last in the televote. And that'll give them also enough even combined. Unless we have like a last place with 50 points or something like that. That's one of the reasons I also don't like that the juries went away. So, yeah. Plus, the song is not weakened. Yeah, I don't think the song will get last, even if it was from some other country, to be fair. Come on, Matt. Chan one step out entirely, right? That would be a major loss. He's not going to leave ES United completely, but he is retiring from Eurovision. So he's not going to be coming to the next year's contest or anything like that. He will maybe write some articles and stuff, be still involved in that stuff, but he will not be like in the, this online world in terms of YouTube and coverage and videos and all that stuff. So that he's now entering a new stage in his life. And I remember doing the same thing when I moved to America. Things changed so much for me. I'm a little bit older than he is, of course. I mean, not that much older, not a little bit. But I remember that's a huge step. I think I was, and that focus will be on his new job, his new life, establishing himself in Canada. So I get it. And it is very, 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 very expensive to come from North America, where I'm at, to wherever Eurovision is. So people don't understand how expensive it is. Not even counting tickets, because I don't even buy tickets, because I'm trying to just raise enough money so I don't end up paying even more into it, because I host a website. I have to pay for people to do stuff on my website. I have to pay for equipment. I have to pay for all the online services, software. It's a lot of money. Anyways, I'm here to cry about that. Do you think Sweden and France will compete for the same votes in final? I don't see any comparison between those two songs. So that's a short and quick no. Nope, not going to happen. So anyways, I have to go, y'all, because, it's been already an hour and a half over that. But again, I'll be back early tomorrow afternoon. Like, I think 2 your time, I want to say. I'll double check when it starts, because sometimes I move stuff around, but I'm pretty sure it'll be 2 o'clock. I'll have Gabe here with me. We'll be covering the show in the afternoon. In the evening, either Sean or Roy will join me, or maybe Connor. I will see. Anyways, thank you everyone for sticking around, and congratulations to all 10 qualifiers, and sorry for the ones that didn't make it through, and I will see you tomorrow.